Hello and welcome to North Star Stamper. I'm Sue Kremer. Happy World Card Making Day, which is the beginning of World Card Sending Week. So all these cards I've been making today, I need to get in the mail. Maybe you will be getting one. Watch your mailbox. Let's see. I'm going to wait just a minute and see if anybody's joining me today. Or this afternoon. I had people earlier. A couple people are joining me, although I think one might be me. I watch myself on my tablet so I can interact with you. All right, well, let's just get started. I like to start on time and try to keep us to about a half an hour. So I'll share what happened. This was my idea for this afternoon's card. And what I like about the card is I have designer series paper from the Artistry Blooms designer series paper pack. And I like that it looked like the sky and the ocean. I had thought about stamping what would look like waves on the bottom, or I could have embossed it. That was another idea I had. And I'll share the other things I like. I cut these out. These are the dies from the... do I have my... I don't have the names of the sets. It's the one that coordinates with that stamp set. Sailing Away or something. And I cut it out of crumb cake, and these I sponged with early espresso ink to make them look weathered like an old ship. And then as I was stamping and cutting my sailboats to go on, I thought my ink pad was too light, so I re-inked them, and then it was too juicy, and I just had a time. And I wasn't excited about the card. It's an okay card. There's nothing wrong with it. I'll send it to somebody. But I wanted to be excited about this afternoon's card. So, take two. We're not making this card. If you have questions about it, let me know. So I mentioned that I watched a demonstrator from Australia late last night. She, being in Australia, she was 2 p.m. her time. That was 11 p.m. my time. And I learned some things from her. She had talked about not liking some colors, and she would either use vellum to tone them down, which is what I did on this card, and that's what we're doing this afternoon, or she would take our white pigment ink and just use the pad and direct-to-paper technique, tone down the color that she didn't like or the pattern she thought was too bold with the white ink. Well, I don't have that ink, so we're using the vellum today. And I have talked about vellum at length, but I have never really thought about it. I was thinking of it as an element in my card, not something to cover something else up, is the way she put it. So this Magenta Madness is very, very bright. And I knew when I decided to do this card, I knew this pattern paper was available. And I'll tell you that the paper's from Flower for Every Season. If you have your annual catalog handy, that's on pages 11 and 148. The embossing folder is part of the Forever Greenery called Greenery, and that's on page 184. And then I used 2 different die sets for the sentiment and then the flowers. And the flowers I had already stamped and not used in a different project, and they matched perfectly. So I didn't even have to stamp those this afternoon. They're stitched so sweetly for the shape, and then the stitched shapes, I used that probably all on many cards today for the oval. And then I did put a layer on the inside. So that is my idea card. But we're going to use Shaded Spruce as our card base this time. And I like this color. I used it in my card at 1 o'clock this afternoon. It's just a dark, bright color, and I thought if we toned it down with some vellum that had been embossed, what would that look like? So this is what our vellum comes as, just so you know. And you get 20 sheets in there. And they're very thin, but they'll go a long way. I've had that pack for quite a while. The other vellum item we currently sell, and this might be fun to use, are these doilies. And there's either die cut, so there's little pieces. That might be kind of fun to use sometime. That would certainly tone down something bright. Here's what it looks like on pink, on the magenta. That's pretty. These are part of the Peony Garden, so they weren't even part of any suite that includes these colors. So those are some more vellum options. there's the embossing folder that I used for that card. It's just a, so let's actually get our card started. All right, I don't know where I left off. I had issues. I think there's a lot of us live on Facebook right now. And let's see. I'm just going to keep going. I will watch the video later, and if I skipped a lot, if I went not live for too long, I'll repost. So I just have shaded spruce and an embossed piece of vellum. The Forever Fern and the Friend Like You are our stamps for today, this afternoon. I am also using the Forever Greenery Suite. Has these gold elements in it. I think it's called a specialty paper. Look at how pretty these are. Can you see those? I've decided to use that one. I've played around with what this card's going to look like, but there's all kinds of things we can use. These actually, if I can get one out, cover the whole card front. Here, let me pull my card back. I have a lot of stuff in the view right now, sorry. That covers almost the entire card. You wouldn't have to do much more to that card. The hard part is going to be getting the adhesive onto the back of that. If I were to die cut something like that on my own with a die, I would have put an adhesive sheet on the back, and then it would be like a sticker. But I will show you, I guess it's similar to using vellum, and I'll show you how we're going to get around that with our vellum today. So we're going to lay pieces here as I decide to use them, and I know I want to use that. We'll get these gold out of the way. I used my Forever Flourishing dies, and there's some big dies in here, to cut from the shaded spruce. And we're going to put bits and pieces behind these corners just to add a little something. Now, if I put the whole thing there, a lot of it's hidden. So we're just going to cut pieces off. Let me get my scissors and we'll start doing that. So I'm going to snip a piece off there. And we'll do both on the same. Be symmetrical. Glue dots are going to be our friend. Where are they? Okay. Sorry about the disruption. Nobody's home, so it's not the Wi-Fi. Like I said, maybe Facebook's having issues because so many of us are live right now. So I put a glue dot on there, and I'm just going to put it on the back. And the other side. And then the other corner. So there's where we are so far, and I'm holding it up because I don't want it to adhere yet. What else do we think we need? Do we need anything else? I'm going to stamp on here. This is one of the ovals from the Stitched Shapes dies. I use those a lot. Need something else. Maybe some more greenery. Oh, sorry, I'm just snipping apart these, and I'm going to use them kind of like a punch. There's my oval. Alright, and glue dots. I think maybe once we get our image stamped, well, we'll just add more green there on the upper corner. Glue dot on there. All right, and I want it centered. So now I know exactly where I can put adhesive. So I'm going to use some seal across this piece. And then I'm going to use, excuse my reach, some glue dots with my Take Your Pick tool on the back of some of these leaves. Should probably go more near the end of the leaf up here. I'll actually hold those two together. I'm almost out of glue dots. Been a busy crafting day. Maybe there. All right, maybe one more. Maybe there. That's kind of sticking up a lot. And I can put it over both the white and the green because the back side of that gold was white. So if I didn't want the gold, I could always color it. I think I've talked about that before. So I'm going to center this on my vellum, and then I'm going to... And that is how I don't show any adhesive on when I'm using vellum. Now if I turn this over, I know exactly where adhesive can go, so it won't show through the vellum. And again, I'm going to use my seal where I know it's going to be covered. More glue dots. Right behind, maybe I better go this way. Right behind my greenery. So my glue dots are being hidden. I'll put a few more. I want to go over here as far as I can. So have you stamped today? Have you made any cards, or do you have any cards you can send this week? Stampin' Up! Has challenged us, I think I mentioned before, to send 60,000 cards between the demonstrators and our customers. So I plan on sending all these cards I've made today. There we are so far. Oh, that is not straight. And I've already burnished it really well, so I don't know if I can adjust it. Oh, that worked. All right. And we're going to stamp on here. I'm going to use one of these, probably one of these little ones, maybe both of them. With my shaded spruce ink. That's kind of a big block. I'm going to stamp off so I get a lighter shade for the ferns. So stamp off. I need something to stamp on. I need a new table. Good job, Melissa, sending cards already. That's great. There's one there. Stamp off so it's lighter. That's good. Just set those on my chamois to clean off when I'm done. Oh, actually, I want that out. What should we have this say? I think I do like the enjoy the little things. And a block. This time I will bring this out. Oh, it's stuck. And when I don't know what colors to put together, I tend to do monochromatic cards, which is how this card came to be. I didn't know what colors I'd want to put with it, so I didn't put any. I knew I wanted to use the shaded spruce, so I'm holding it. It's a very solid stamp. There we are. And there's our sentiment. This out of the way and clean up. I am going to add this with dimensionals. I think it adds a little more interest to the card. And do I have some big ones? I do. Thank you for joining me today. I will be back on Monday, and I think we're going to start talking about the holidays. I center that right over the gold. You can see the gold peeking out. And it says, enjoy the little things. That card I'm proud of. The sailboats, where'd that card go? It was okay. I just wasn't excited about it, and I wanted to be excited about this card this afternoon. So, thank you for joining me. Happy stamping. Happy card making day. Take care. I'll be back with you again on Monday evening at 7:30 Central Time. Bye for now.